Greetings, family. It's me, Al Kumar, coming to you live from one of my favorite places in the neighborhood. And I'm hoping I can get one person on here to join me before I get going. Here we go. Hey, who is that joining me? Let me know who you are, where you're joining me from. Good to have you. Come on in. Hey, Christopher. Let the circle be unbroken. I am here to have a discussion, a conversation with you guys, hoping that it will be a reciprocity like it always is with these discussions, a back and forth, hoping we can commune back and forth. So definitely shoot your comments out there, shoot your questions, shoot your statements. What did I label this? Because the last minute, is the division part. Is the division the ultimate goal? And I stumbled with that title. I just typed it the last few seconds ago because I've been having a whole lot of deep thought around that, back and forth. And come on in, family, let the circle be unbroken. Share this message, please, so we can get more people on the live. I believe I'm being shadow banned again. Facebook loves to put me in the shadows for whatever reasons, whatever reasons they have. But just wanted to have a heart to heart about where we are, where we stand, what we look like. What does the near future hold for us? How are you guys doing? You know, all that good stuff. I am in my favorite place. Let me turn it around so you can kind of get a visual of where I am. It's a neighborhood field close to where I live. And I like coming out here because, as you can see, most days it's just like this. Most days it's like I be having this place all to myself, and I like it like that because I'm here. I can put my feet in the grass when the weather is warm, and it's just peaceful. It's just a little, it's peaceful. Hey, Dwayne. I'm gonna go over. I have a few notes that I took, and I wanted to talk about a few things. The division, and I'm noticing, and let me know, guys, if you guys are recognizing the same things, that more and more and more as time goes, it seems that the tension level in the society is growing stronger and stronger and stronger. So it seems as though the more drama that's taking place in this society, the more tense we becoming. And that tension is causing us to act out amongst each other in a lot of ways that can be deemed unhealthy, depending on how you look at it. Because that's why I say I struggled with the title, because I'm wondering if this is all divine order, if this is the process of going through the storm to be able to come to the after effect of going through the storm. So if this is the storm, what does the storm look like? What does it feel like? And I'm speaking to those who understand what I mean, who know, who kind of get, who got a good pulse beat on what's taking place in this society, and the behind the scenes, and who's running, who's really running the show, and the goal and the purpose in mind for this society, and what they are actively moving towards, and what does that look like and feel like for us as a people. And I'm wondering if the tension that's causing us to react to each other with like frustration, a lot of anger, so a lot more heinous crimes taking place, and the people's anxiety levels through the roof, and people making moving on emotion, things like that. If this is the process, I don't know what you guys think about that. Because if it is, it kind of upsets my whole conversation that I had written down for you guys. And again, like I said, I'm going on the spirit of the moment right now. I'm going on the spirit of the moment because I had a whole nother concept of mine to converse with you guys about, but that thought just like really is lingering. Like, what if all this is a means to an end? What if all this is like a necessary evil? I guess it depends on who you believe and how you believe and what you think and how you feel about the future. Some of us are faith-based, and some of us believe that, in our faith and in our beliefs that, we'll have salvation, that a Savior is coming, and that we'll, be saved from all of this. Some of us believe that, and others believe that ain't nobody coming to save us. This quagmire we find ourselves in is of our own doing and of our own unraveling. And so we got to do the necessary things that it takes to right the wrongs, to chart a better course, to put us in a place that's better than this. Some of us don't believe either. Some of us believe this is it. This is, the defeatism. Well, there's nothing we can do. No, it don't matter. It's all going to be destroyed and everything in it. And, just ride it on out, because at the end, that's it. No more. We're done. You know what I'm saying? Some of us believe that too. So I guess it depends on where you stand in your thought processes. I feel like I'm like talking to y'all from my neck up. Hey, guys. So, what does that mean for us as individuals, though? I'm of mind that we chart our own course. We set the rules. We determine the outcomes. I believe that we are the most powerful force in the universe, but most of us don't know it, which is why we find ourselves in a predicament of being under another rulership, because we don't know who we are. And we can go back into the science of why that is, you know. The brainwashing and the mind manipulation and the amnesia that we've been put under, the spell as to why. But I believe that nobody is gonna fix the challenges that we find ourselves in but us. I think we have a responsibility to ourselves first and foremost. I shared something on my post the other day that I found profound. It's like we weren't put here to work a 9 to 5 and sit in traffic 5 days out of 7 and come home and flick on Netflix and you know what I'm saying? You know, the humdrum of life as most people know it. You know, that's not our intentions for being here in this earthly plane. And so we owe ourselves a duty and responsibility to change the course of this world for the better. And then once we gather that type of understanding and begin changing the course, then everybody around us is affected by the decisions that we make. And so the first duty and responsibility is on ourselves, and then that grows and that goes outward, and everybody else benefits. But I think because we don't have the proper understanding and the knowledge of ourselves, who we are, and what our mission and purpose is here in this world, we're off course. And you look around and you see the results of that. You know, we doing things day in, day out that don't benefit us. It benefits other people. So it's like those who rule use our power in order for them to remain in power. So all our talents, all our skills and creativity, all our gifts that we've been given from birth, you know, all of these things, most of us those gifts and things are being used by other people so they can remain in power, because they don't have our gifts. They weren't anointed with them. You know, we are the most creative people on the planet. And when you think about it, it's like we set the trends. And when we say these kind of things, we don't get no pushback with that. We don't get no rebuttal because everybody knows it. And so, despite us having all this creativity and talent and skill set, we find ourselves at the bottom of the barrel in a lot of categories. Now, why is that? Because clearly somebody is benefiting off those talents and skills outside of us. Will, you said that's what you was about to touch on? Yeah. And they do that, and they're able to do that successfully because we don't know our own power. And we don't know our own power because we don't have a proper understanding of who we are. The knowledge of self. So once we get that, then we'll know how to use our own power to benefit ourselves. It's coming to that. I see it. I see the remnants of that happening more and more and more and more. It's a process. And I wanted to talk about that process too, because I know oftentimes we get frustrated with one another, myself included. I'll be the first one to raise my hand, because I know I can, it can become frustrated when you have a level of awareness that most other people around you don't, right? And with a surety, without a shadow of a doubt, because you live it. So you know the benefits of having a proper knowledge of yourself and knowing who you are and knowing what you're capable of and knowing how to manifest things and knowing that when you put your heart and mind to something, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? When you know this kind of power you have and you moving on it and you acting in it, but you have the vast majority of people around you don't maneuver in that same energy. And so it can become frustrating. You just want to shake people because what are you doing? No, just, if you just do it this way, if you just think of it in this way, your whole life will be different, and it gets frustrating. And so we find ourselves lashing out at one another due to that frustration, right? But I think, and again, I'm speaking with myself here as well, included, I think that it behooves us to be more mindful that all the buds on the tree don't bloom at the same time. You take a rose bush and you watch a rose bush grow, and you may have some big blooming roses on one side and none on the other, or tiny one coming out, or they all just don't pop and bloom all at the same time, all at once. And I think our reality is similar to that, to where we all don't gain the understanding. We all aren't operating on the same vibrational levels all at the same time. It's stepping stones, it's processes, it's progresses, it's things that we have to go through on our own. We have to get, it's like being in school. You got to get, certain subject matter well enough to be able to move to the next grade. And some of us aren't, are just starting. We're starting in pre-kindergarten. Age ain't got nothing to do with it. It's our level of awareness and it's our ability to be how open-minded we are, which I find too. The more open you are to receiving information, despite how it makes you feel, I think the sooner you come into higher levels of understanding and awareness. But it don't work, but then even on top of that, this depends on your background, your upbringing. Some of us had parents that were both insightful and highly aware, and you get it young, they instill it young, and so it just has differences. And some people never receive. Some people just never, from the cradle to the grave, they die without really having a proper knowledge and understanding of who they are. It's unfortunate, but it happens. And so I just implore us to just be more understanding of where we are individually in our journeys, you know. I have here, check your trauma at the door, because we all have that too. Another part of understanding yourself, you know, you cannot be raised in a society such as this, especially as a black man or a black woman, and not endure some level of trauma. It just don't exist. It don't exist. You know, you turn on the TV, I mean, it's like we reminded daily of the struggles that we still endure, of attempting to gain some semblance of peace. You know, you can't even be out walking your dog or grilling out, you know, at the park, or, you know, especially our brothers, more so than the rest of us, without being harassed, you know. And then we have depictions of that in video that go viral all over the country. And so, you know, on all that pain and anguish that we feel whenever we see one of us being mistreated, you know, not just by other people, but by each other. And we take on all that. And that's trauma. That's trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma. And it's an ongoing. We don't get a rest. You know, we don't get a rest period. Let you go on vacation somewhere and tune out of everything. But as soon as you come back, the trauma is right there waiting for you at the door. So we all have it, you know. And I think how we maneuver through that is different. It looks different for all of us, you know. But I think that oftentimes what we do is, because we endure so much, and some of us have, you know, ways to release, you know, when it seems to get too heavy. You know, we have little things that we do. Some of us turn to yoga or meditation, or seeing everything on the bright side, you know, and all that. I think is escapism, you know, because it kind of gives you temporary relief, but it doesn't solve the problem, because it's still here. And so, you know, I am of mind that the problem won't be solved until enough of us make up our minds to do something different than what we've always done. You know, instead of putting band-aids on the problem, we actually hone in, get to the root of the problem, and go about changing the dynamics altogether. And until then, we'll always be looking for temporary fixes to our issues. There's my brother. Peace and love, Saladin. Was hoping I'd see you on the stream. I'm just having a conversation on division, defeatism, accepting personal accountability of where we are versus where we need to be, you know. And everybody has a responsibility in that. Everybody does. Because what happens is, when we decide ain't nothing I can do about it, you know. Even the least of us who feel like we don't have nothing to contribute, you know, we just out here living. You know, I'm gonna have my fun and I don't care about none of that stuff. Even those type of minds have something to contribute in making the situation better tomorrow than it is today. And we have a duty and responsibility to do that for those who coming after us. You know, I think it's really selfish and self-centered to feel like I'm just going to live my life however reckless I want to live it. I don't give a damn about nothing. And I'm just going to live it until the end. And that's just how I'm going to do. I'm just going to enjoy all the worldly, fleshly things that entice my flesh and make me feel good. And I don't care about nothing else. That's self-destructive behavior. And it's egotistical and it's selfish, because what you do is you set your own bloodline up for failure. So what you essentially is saying is, I don't give a damn about my own seeds and who's coming behind me. I don't give a fuck. I'm just, whatever they inherit, they just inherit. Hell with it. If they got to struggle harder than what I'm struggling right now, then oh well, it is what it is. It's self-centered and it's self-destructive, especially if you believe in the ancestral realm. Because if you believe that when you leave here that we're all energy, and energy never dies, energy is just a continuation in form. And if you have that understanding, and so know that once you leave this earthly plane, you too become an ancestor. Then you giving your own damn self hell to pay. But again, for me, I think that goes into not having a proper understanding of who we are and why we're here and what the mission and goal is. Because once we get it, once we understand it, my God, what a difference. What a difference this world would be. What a difference. Hey Kel, Stanley, Rhonda, Saladin. Stanley said, absolutely, good teacher. Nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something, no doubt. And when we convince ourselves that we don't have anything to contribute, it's defeatism. And what happens is when you become defeated and you drop the ball, then those who do have self-confidence and a lack of understanding of who they are, they got to work twice as hard. They got to work twice as hard to pick up your slack, because you're not contributing to the whole. So the circle becomes broken. The circle becomes broken. And so some may ask, I don't know what my mission and purpose is in life. I get that. You know, I get that. Blame that on the public school system. Really. You know what I'm saying? Blame that on those whose main desire and goal is to keep you not knowing. Because the less you know about who you are, the more powerful they are. Because again, as I mentioned earlier on, we are the ones that hold all the gifts and the talents and the skills. You know, we are the original people. That comes with a set of responsibilities. Nobody else. It's not everybody on earth isn't the original. There's only one people who are the original people. And so that comes with it, the viceroy. You know, when God started the creation, if you believe, you know, in this, you know, and he shaped and formed people with I love it. Shaped and formed the people in his own image, in his own likeness. That was the original people. So we have a responsibility and a duty on earth to right these wrongs. I know I'm kind of all over the place, family. Forgive me for that. Again, like I said, I had a whole list of things, but last minute, my thoughts went totally somewhere else. Let me get you guys in here. Peace and love, Patrick. Okay. The rise, your rise is their fall. Yeah, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. My father used to say, what's bad for them is good for you. Yeah, because it's the dichotomy. Yeah, if you understood good and evil, right and wrong, up and down, left and right, sun and moon, you know, everything in nature has an opposing force. Everything in nature. So yes, your rise is their fall. Good teaching, brother, as usual. That is selfish, my sister. People who live life based on selfishness is a destructive lifestyle for themselves, family, and community. Yeah, I had a conversation with a good girlfriends of mine last night. We got on the subject of judging. Interesting you brought that up. And one of my sisters was like, I don't think nobody has any room to judge nobody else. That's the problem, you know. And you know, we went on to have a whole conversation about it, but I disagree with that. And I told her that. I said I disagree with that. I think that is, for me, viewing the world, how and what's happening, currently transpiring in the world. I think that's part of the problem. When people, oh, can't nobody judge nobody else, and you know. My question was, who is doing the judging? Anybody can help me out here. Let me know. If we're not judging one another, then who's doing the judging? Let me know. Who keeps your one another in check when we know there's something unrighteous going on, something harmful going on? Who's doing that? So I think we get this concept in our minds. I think we've been taught this by the same people who don't want to be judged because of so much of the devilish and wicked things that they do on the earth. That's my opinion. But it's like, again, if we're going into the balance, the ma'at, the equal scales, then if someone comes to you with praise and adoration, they admire what you do, they coming to you, oh sister, oh brother, I like the way you did that, you know, that was wonderful, or keep up the good work, and that's judging. We want that all day. We don't have no problem with that kind of judging. You know what I'm saying? As long as somebody's judging you in a way that makes you feel good. But if somebody else come to you and say, "Oh, brother, that ain't cool. You shouldn't do it that way," or it's a better way to do that, sister. Nah, that wasn't right. Nah, you might want to check yourself. We don't want that kind of judging. No, now it's everybody need to mind their business, and nobody, can't nobody judge nobody else. Nobody had no room to judge. But again, I'm asking, then if we not judging each other, who doing it? Who doing it? Is there a mystical spirit being that dropped down from the sky and judge us all on our misdeeds? Who holds each other accountable and keeps each other in check? So I think that these are lies we tell ourselves, and we move in these this dishonesty, you know. And so now nobody wants to hold nobody else accountable, and now this shit is going, you know, the moral fabric of the whole society is unraveling. Because I can do what I want, because ain't nobody else got no room to judge me. Meanwhile, when you go into any court of law anywhere in this land, and those people that sit higher above you in the courtroom, and they come through them doors in them long black robes, and the bailiff screaming, "All rise!" You better rise. You pay much respect to those people that sit there and judge you all day and determine what your life, the outcome of what your life going to be once you leave that courtroom. You know, so nobody can judge me, but you go to the courtroom to be judged. And these are what's the word I'm looking for? It don't add up. It don't add up to logic. We're not being true to ourselves. We're lying to ourselves. And then we hear these catchphrases, can't nobody judge me, ain't nobody got no room to judge me, and da. And what it really is you don't want nobody else to hold you accountable for your mess. You don't want nobody else to hold you accountable for your own shit. Because why? Because it don't feel good. It is maneuvering in emotion. And so we shy away from that. Who wants to feel bad? I know I don't. I don't either. I don't like when people judge me and hold me accountable for my unrighteous deeds. It don't feel good. It don't feel good. And so that's what we run from. You know, and if we run to the people who feel and think and behave the same way we do. Yeah, you right. Nobody got no room to judge you, girl. Go on, do you. Do you. Do what you do, whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you happy. Despite that, what you doing is causing the unraveling of the whole society. You part of that. Going into accepting accountability. You part of that. We are part of that. So again, I think this, for me, it all boils back to the knowledge of self. Because when you understand, you have a responsibility then to right the wrongs. Why would anybody want to walk this earth dead wrong in all of what they do? Why would you want to cause yourself that kind of turmoil? Because you ain't doing nothing but setting yourself up for a life of challenges and stress and strife and struggle. You ain't getting right from wrong. Again, there's laws to this thing. There's universal laws to the way we live. And when we go against them, when we break them, there's hell to pay. There's hell to pay. You ain't. Yeah. I'm a jump off of that. But let me let's see. I'm trying to see who this is. I can't see your name, but it says Revelation teach that the dead will be doing the judging on the day of resurrection. Allah is doing the judging through those who keeps his laws before them with justice. Ashe. Who is that? Is that Saladin? I'm sorry, I can't, my screen, it just blanks out on me every time I try to scroll down. But exactly, that is to my point of who is gonna judge us if only God can judge me. Where's the judging coming from? Yeah. Allah's doing the judging through those who keeps his law. Yeah. The righteous. And all of us are righteous in some way, shapes, and forms. So it's like I may have a set of laws that I'm doing, that I'm doing the right way, that I can then instruct other people, you know what I'm saying, who may be doing it in an unrighteous way, right? Okay? Now you may have a set of laws that I have no clue about. I'm going about it the wrong way, and I'm having hell to pay. And then here's someone else who has the set of laws that I need in order to check me. So I'm like, oh, you are absolutely right. And your spirit tells you. Your spirit, you know, just by how you feel from the information you're receiving. Right? Yeah. And so now I've been judged by the set of laws that one of my brothers and sisters come to me with, and now I'm able to chart my course in a better direction. That's the circle. That's the universal laws. Yeah, it's no spook God. There is no spook God. We are the representations of the Creator. And we are the representations of Satan. Take it or let it alone. My father used to say, never search outside of yourself for Allah. For if you do, you spooky minded. And he would wrap it up by saying, and don't you never search outside of yourself for the devil either. It took me a long time to understand that. A long time. It took me a long time to understand a lot of his teachings. But it resonated, and I understand it much better now. And he's right. He's right. Who's doing all these devilish things? There's a Satan, and there's devils. I'm talking about devils. Who's doing all these devilish things out here amongst us? You know, who broke in your car last week? Who stripped you of your tires? Or, you know what I'm saying? Who stole some money out of your purse at lunchtime? Or, you know what I'm saying? Who snatched up? You know, you just think of all the things. You and I know what's right and wrong. We know the rights and wrongs. So who's out here doing all these devilish things? You know, who killing one another? Dead in the street. You know what I'm saying? We can go into the science of why it's being done, but for the sake of just staying on surface, who's doing it? Is this mystical, demonic figure with crawling up out the ground with horns on his head? And, you know, no, those are, never search outside of yourself for the devil either. And we all have the capability. We all have the capability. It ain't far removed. Some of our devilish ways. So some people have more far removed from their devil than others. But we all have that capability. So it's like, which spirit you gonna feed? You know, which spirit you gonna feed? You walk it down. You. Shit, I remember at one time I used to be the biggest shoplifter. That's real. That's me. I was a knucklehead growing up. I would tear a store up, you know? And I got to a point where, I mean, why? Because I could. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in the spirit frame of mind that I am in today as I was back then. Again, them growing patterns, them learning curves, them frequencies and levels of, you know, of life. But I got to a point where I was like, why am I doing this? I got money. I got money enough. I got enough money to pay for what I want. What is the purpose of me doing this? I came into a higher conscious, a level of consciousness about the situation. And so I had to then, at that point, moving forward, once I gained the understanding of, there's consequences and repercussions for every action you take. You may not think nobody else see you, but just the feeling of when you walking out that door, with some shit in your pocket, damn well you ain't paid for, and that feeling that comes over you when you walking through that door that's the judging. That's you judging yourself. And so my point in saying this is that after a while of me coming to like, I'm not doing this no more because I don't have to do it and it ain't right, and I don't like the way it feels, Then I had to go through a process of being consciously aware enough not to do it. Get to a point where it's like, nah, you could get that, but don't do that. Don't do that. Why? Because I was feeding in me. I was feeding, for lack of better words, about the good spirit. So more and more and more, I'm leaning on the good spirit. That devil, that wicked, them wicked ways. You know what I'm saying? And the more you lean on the good spirit, the further away them wicked ways become. But they're there. It's just which one you feeding. It's which one you feeding. Self-condemnation is hell. Break that down, Saladin, for me a little more, please. Self-condemnation is hell. I wish you can join me. I wish there was a way you could join me on the screen. Can you guys? Let me see what this is. Oh no. Okay. Our missions vary. That's something else I just want to touch on a little bit before I jump off. I find that we have a tendency to not respect. And again, I'm not talking to everybody. I'm just talking to those I think that the spirit is moving me to talk to always. I find myself talking to the same people all the time. Those in the same spiritual realm all the time. But our missions vary. Meaning that I think many of us don't have, again, a proper understanding of how every last one of us have a different purpose in life. All our purpose and mission aren't the same, but it all works cohesively, right? But we aren't all the same. So my mission may be to to do this, right? Somebody else's mission may be to teach the children, go into the classrooms and teach the children. And somebody else's mission may be out in the hood and pulling up them youngins that need guidance, proper guidance. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else's mission may be with the elders, and making sure that they're comfortable and safe and secure. Or, somebody else's mission may be the planet. You know what I'm saying? Be given to the planet, the nature, what it needs. Or somebody else may be animals. You know what I'm saying? So, but because I'm doing this, and somebody else is out doing a mission with the elders, oh, they dumb, they stupid, because they don't know, they ain't doing it the way I'm doing it. And so you wasting your time over there, and you should be over here with me and doing the same thing I'm doing. And so, because you not, then, you know, you ain't on board with what I'm doing, then there's a problem. Again, I'll reiterate, I think a lot of that goes into not properly understanding ourselves. Because to know thyself is to know all men and women. Meaning when you have the proper understanding of who you are and what your purpose is and what your mission is, you can then see other people's better and clearer. And so I think that when we do that, we it's ego based. It's coming from a place of ego, in my humble opinion, because it's like, do it like me. Because if you ain't doing it like me, then you wasting your time. You know, and I think that we should have a better respect for other people's purpose and mission in life when it don't match our own, and don't fight against them, but humbly respect what they doing, especially if what they doing is in a matter of good. It's helpful. You know what I'm saying? And it all meets up at the end. If you doing what you were put here to do, and I'm doing what I was put here to do, and she's doing that, and he's doing that, and then all that, the tide lifts all boats, then we all are benefiting. So when it's time for me to be able to pull from the earth what I need, because you were over there making sure that the earth was clean and had the proper nutrients, and nobody was destroying and demolishing the earth. That was your purpose over there. So now when I need the earth the way I need the earth, I'm good, because you was doing what you needed to do. But it's when we don't know who we are and what our mission and what our purpose is, other people use us to their benefit. And then the whole circle gets depleted. The whole circle gets depleted, because none of us live on an island unto ourselves. None of us do. We all need each other. We need each other. Saladin, you said when you knowingly do wrong and the self-accusing spirit begins to beat on your consciousness, brings us closer to our higher power. I'm so grateful for you, brother. I really am. The God within. Or it draws us closer to our lower desires, being more subjective to Satan's inner suggestions. The latter brings us into hell, mental suffering. Heaven and hell is not two different places. Heaven and hell is a state of condition. And the state of condition is determined by how you think. Yes, sir, brother. Ashe. Thank you so much for that breakdown. Yeah. Even the concept of the hereafter. Thanks to Minister Farrakhan, the most honorable Minister Farrakhan. He broke that down to me, and he's such a wise man, broke that down to us when he explained the hereafter. People hear that, and I was one too at one point before it was broken down to me in wisdom, and we tend to think of somewhere else, or we going away from here and gone, when we die, another realm, or etc. The hereafter, right here, after a certain set of rules, certain people's rulership. We ain't going nowhere. We don't have no beginning. Therefore, we can have no ending. Every year, the scientists and those who study bones and go down and digging in the ground and find, the remnants of those who were here before us. And every single year, the date changes. It gets further and further and further. Why? Because we don't have no beginning. Right? And so when you think about the hereafter, it's like we gonna always be here. after. And then the same as there was other rulerships at one point. Now, currently, some people will challenge this. Currently, America is the world power, superpower, call it, right? Well, who was in power before America was ever America, right? And so and you start going back in history and you saying that all these, different people, rulership, the collapse of societies and, the fall of Rome and the dynasties of Egypt and, what was it? Who was the sun never set on not with the Roman Empire? It was, who was it that was the European? I forget. So China, they had their day, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, here we are now, America, the great America. And all the writing is on the wall for those who pay attention, and understand the time, you know what I'm saying? And read those ancient scrolls that give us foresight. All you got to do is read history to know what's coming up ahead. That's the whole point of why they stripped us from our history. You know what I'm saying? We was stripped from that level of knowledge of who we are because we would then have foresight. But the writing is on the wall as to America is not getting stronger. No way. Are you kidding me? People every day is coming off of this dollar. This dollar standard. I just read the other day, Tanzania. They cutting loose from the dollar. And all over the world. People see the writing on the wall. Those who have eyes to see. So America's not getting stronger. This ain't gonna last forever. How can it? And when you think about how young this society is, it's a lesson in that too. It's this is for this society to be on this downward spiral so soon. Because you can't build anything long lasting on what this society was built upon. Are you kidding me? And then claim to believe in the creator? How you believe in a God and think that you could build anything good, long lasting on death and suffering and murder and rape and pillage and stealing people's land and genocide and what I'm saying, all manner of wickedry. And you think, and now you look around and shit, and now they protecting the same ones, the governmental, the people who make and create the policies and laws that the citizens of this nation is to abide by. They protecting people who are pedophiles and who traffic children. And you know what I'm saying? Racism ran rampant and all that shit. And you think that this shit is just gonna go on like normal, happily ever after? Nah, not the God I serve. Nah, not if you believe in Ma'at. Not if you understand the laws of Ma'at, which is the scales, the balance. It is so off balance that it ain't even funny. And so something gotta give. And here is the give part. But in all that, we still have a duty and a responsibility to help right the wrongs. So you can go on and, part and go on with them. A lot of us, that's what we doing. Don't worry about nothing. Just party your life away, and all manner of degradation. You can go on down with them, or you can be part of those who help right the wrongs. Either way, you're gonna be held accountable. Either route you choose, you're gonna have to answer. You either be rewarded or punished. All right, family. I just want to share with you guys that I am on Instagram. I am a lot more active on Instagram with the critical news and information. Almost every day I come to you with 10-part series, clips, 60 seconds or less clips of the things I think that we should know about that's currently going on in the world, so we can be aware, so we can have proper understanding, so we can know how to maneuver and be better guided through this storm. That's on Instagram. Check me out. Same name here, Alkamar Malik. If you're not there, stay informed. Stay in the know. It doesn't help when we put our heads in the sand or we tune out the information, because what happens is then you become vulnerable to attack. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's coming. If you don't know what's coming, just like them jabs, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what's coming, when although the warners was trying to warn and saying, hold up, pause, don't do it, be careful, look at this. And you like, nah, I don't want to hear that. I'm just going on with the wicked. Basically what we did, a lot of us. And now we're looking up and we look the smoke clear. We realize, what have I done? You know what I'm saying? Well, all the evidence is coming out. Some of us still got our heads in the sand and still don't have a clear understanding of what's taking place. Even with that, despite all the information that's floating around, because we stick our heads in the sand and it's dangerous. We tune out. We don't want to know because it don't feel good. We just want to feel good all the time, 24/7, 365. And so if it don't make us feel good, we tune out. And it's dangerous. That's a dangerous lifestyle, because you get caught off guard, right? And especially, and Lord knows if you got other responsibilities besides yourself, you have children and people that look to you and depend on you for safety and security, but you tuning out everything. And so now you putting them in danger. You putting their lives, your own children's lives in danger. So don't do that. Don't tune yourself out. That is not wise. It's not intelligent to do that, especially in times such as these. Know what's going on so you can proper prepare and know and can see ahead and know how to maneuver and get yourself out of harm's way. And you do that with knowledge and information. So critical news and information I share on the Instagram page. Follow me there. I also have a Facebook group here called Moving to Africa from America. I'll put the link on the stream once this is over. I invite you to join us there too. We share a lot of good information about international information, because that again is a trend. And the exodus has begun. All of us are not leaving this place. I get that. I'm not even expecting that. There's some of you guys who, this is home. It's been home and you ain't going nowhere else. Respect. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Respect. That's probably most of us. But then there's some of us who think, you know what I'm saying? We see the writing on the wall and we see this, it's going to get a whole lot worse before it get better. No doubt. And so we looking for our exit plan. And so we share a lot of international information coming out of Africa from there. There's a lot of brothers and sisters in the diaspora that's on that page that shares willingly there as well. Good and bad and ugly. We share it all right there on that page. So join us there. Even if you're, not sure or you're just curious, come on and join us at Moving to Africa from America. We welcome everybody. It's an open group. Okay, family, let me see if I got anybody else on here. I think that was it. Saladin, I certainly appreciate you. Hey, Fawn. I love your mind and spirit too, beloved. I think we're kindred spirits. It's no accident that the Creator puts those, links us with others who are on the same course. That's been my life, and I'm surrounded by warriors, and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for that. I learned so much, from the people who are around me, and you're one. So I appreciate all the work you do too, brother, and all your wisdom. Stanley, I'm sorry I didn't get your point in. You said we all make a judgment by looking both ways before we cross the street. A fool's actions are only perpetuated by their own ignorance. Yeah. I can't argue that. Hey, Chris. All right, family. That's going to be it for me today. And, yeah, spread the word. If there's anything on this message that you found helpful and you think it would aid and assist others in their own journey, share the information. That's how we, that's how we get the word out, and we, yeah, just share the information. Please take care of each other out there. Peace.